Hey, welcome back to the beginner series of Lord's Mobile How-Tos. Um, so last time we talked about how to use your coins and your gems. We've looked at a few other side issues like monster hunting and research and heroes. Let's look at speeds. The game runs on speeds, you run on speeds. When should you use speeds and for what? The other question is technolabes. What is the best, most economical way to use your technolabes? Technolabes, you instantly able to complete a research, but the bigger the research, the more technolabes you need. So do remember that. Okay, let's have a look. How you use your speeds and your technolabes is, well, certainly your speeds, is going to a very large extent depend upon your strategy. I have had an account that I just used all my speeds on trading trips, and I went out there and I burned little brown castles in a closed kingdom, and it was a ton of fun. It wasn't my primary account, and it was never intended to be a growth account that's shooting for the maximum amount of might for what it can do. Okay, you can do that. But the problem with troops is that troops die. So when you attack things, troops die. And when you get attacked, troops will die if you don't have enough infirmary space. And if you don't... Oh, I better heal Serena tonight. Let's just do that. And troops will die once they overflow your sanctuary, which is a reasonably new feature. So yeah, the sanctuary, I'm trying to remember, I think it takes in the region of 2 million troops. I stand corrected. It's been a long time since I filled my sanctuary. But you got to work to get your troops out of sanctuary. And yeah, well, your healing is going to take a lot of resources. So yeah, troops can be taken away. If you're really going to go troops heavy, you're looking at a comp that is following the introduction of these Dawn artifacts and following the introduction of Tier 5, the composition that you need has changed. You need in the region of 1.5 million each, Tier 4. You need in the region of 3 million each, Tier 2. More is better. And of course, naturally, the amount of research that you've got behind you is going to determine how hard you hit. Your gear is going to determine how hard you hit. Your jewels are going to determine how hard you hit if you're attacked. Now, a lot of people want to go trap. They want to go troops heavy. They want to, have a ton of troops. And I'm doing that, but it's not my favorite thing. I have to be honest with you. To me, it makes more sense to have fewer troops. And then if you do make a mistake and you get zeroed, it's not the end of the world. If I get zeroed now, it's going to take me in the region of 6 to 8 months to recover my troops. That's a long time. And that's 6 to 8 months when I am sitting in the awkward stage where it's a bit too risky to, drop shield because I know I'm going to die if I get rallied. So, you end up playing like a twink for, 6 to 8 months after you've been zeroed. So it kind of sucks. And you're kind of upset because you've lost 6 to 8 months worth of work when you get zeroed. So to my mind, it actually makes a heck of a lot of sense to only make, in the region of 2 to 3 million troops. You can recover that so fast. And, then, you just play. And if somebody hits you and you zero, you just laugh. You just, well, okay, fine. Next time. It's kind of more fun. Okay, so troops die. Using your speeds on troops, if you really want to try this whole trap troops heavy thing, then you're going to be using speeds on that. And then I would recommend save them up. Have a couple of years of speeds, and I'm not getting you years of speeds, ready so that you can create that composition that I was telling you about. Tier 3s, what about them? You don't want them. If it's the highest troop that you've got, yes, you're going to have some. But if you're going to try defending, Tier 3s are going to hurt you. Tier 1s are also going to hurt you if you're defending. So you've got to have some Tier 1s in order to counter if you get a familiar attack a Pyrus that's going to take out a certain amount of your lowest tier of troops. You want to have some tier 1 for that. And you want to have some tier 1 for ball if you play it. But you don't really want to have a lot of tier 1. You want to have tier 1 for gathering. It's brilliant gathering troops. They heal instantly. So, if you do get tile hit, it's still going to cost you resources, but you can recover your troops very, very quickly. But that's the only real use for tier 1. Tier 3 is kind of useless, I have to be honest with you. It's going to be something that is your highest tier for quite a long while, but I really wouldn't bother to make a heck of a lot of them because you're going to be looking at destroying them later. My way is not to dismiss them. My way is to go and fight until they finish. But okay. So troops, yes, you can do it, but in the long term, you're not going to develop your account if you use your speeds on troops. So where do you use your speeds? Not on buildings. And the reason for that is because you are going to get stuck at a point when you are looking at the buildings that require gems to purchase special materials in order to upgrade them. So you speed through your buildings, and unless you've got a ton of gems, in order to buy soul crystals, handcuffs, and battle tomes, it's not much point, to be honest with you. Sometimes you get a bit excited and you speed a building, especially if it's your castle that's going up, but it's not really efficient way. So that leaves research, and that is actually the ideal place for a beginner player to be using their speeds, because you want to get to tier 4. Tier 4 is what you kind of need. So you're going to be using it on research. Okay, great. When do you use it on research? When your research is very short. You're going to want to speed it through because, it's going to only take an hour or 2 hours, and otherwise you've got to log in. So you might actually just want to speed through the quicker researches if you've got the speeds, simply so that you can set something that's going to at least last until your next login. Now, later on, and that's the point where I am, you are looking for very long times on your research. I've maxed this tree here, so I can't show you. I can probably show you something here. If I want to take sabotage, for example, from 6 to 10, this is without research talents and without research gear, by the way. Looking at 43 days, that's still a reasonably small research. Some researches are well over a year. So just bear that in mind as well. But speeds for a beginner account are definitely going to go towards research, because you want to get your tier 4, and that's over here in your military tree. You have to maximize this tree in order to unlock your tier 4, and you have to maximize your economy tree. And this made me very sad. I really did not want to max this tree, but you have to do it, except for the gem harvesting. That's nice to have, but to get tier 4 you need to do everything up to gem harvesting, but not necessarily gem harvesting to max, so that you can get Academy 25. So that you can unlock the research. For Academy 25, it's those buildings I was telling you about, and you need those buildings: prison, battle hall, altar, and you need them at 25 to get your Academy to 25, and that allows you to unlock tier 4. So you're not going to be looking at speeding your buildings, because you're going to get stuck for gems if you're free to play, definitely. You're going to have to hoard and hoard and hoard your gems so that you can get those gem buildings up. Okay, so we're going to use our speeds on research primarily, and we're going to use it on the military tree primarily. We are also going to use it on the economy tree, because we need to take that tree up. We are going to have to do monster hunt, because that is a great way to grow. So you're going to be looking to max this tree. I actually did unlock Monster Hunt 5. I've never done it, to be honest with you. It just uses too much energy. And you are going to want to look at your familiars as well. Ideally, you want to unlock at least pack 3, and later on pack 4, after you've opened your tier 4. So you've got a lot of things to research. So that's where your speeds are going. Technolabes. This is fairly easy. Never use a technolabe on a research that is less than 7 days. You can get 7 to 9 days, depending on the research and your own research gear and whatever. But you can get if you've got bad research gear, it can probably even manage longer. I don't know. I imagine so. I've got really good research gear, so let's have a look at that research gear again. This is a very nice research set. So, I've got that maxed. I've got my talents on research, if I'm researching. At the moment, I don't. And if at this point I see that a research is less than 7 days, there is no way I'm using a technolabe on it. No ways. And it's worth hoarding your technolabes, because remember what I said, that the researches get longer and longer and longer. And when you get to the point where you are about to unlock your Tier 4, you're either going to need a lot of resources or you're going to need a lot of technolabes. Now remember, when you use technolabes, you don't need resources for your research. And one of the big barriers towards getting Tier 4 in the past, before technolabes came out, was the sheer amount of gold that you needed for these last researches. The Tier 4 researchers themselves are not very long, but Army Defense, Army Offense, and Army Health, to max those, it's a long time and a lot of resources. So you might want to technolabe the later stages of this research, and it's going to take a lot of technolabes. It's not a matter of, really big research, you're going to get through it with one technolabe. You are not. You're going to need multiple technolabes to get through these bigger researches. So save those technolabes. You've got 100. It's still not much. Keep going. You want more. So technolabes are for hoarding and saving, speeds of hoarding and saving. And initially, at any rate, if you're looking at a longer term account where you're growing your might as far as possible, where you're getting to a point where you might even be able to stand up against the big guys, or at least look like you might, because your might is high, you are going to be pushing your base might, your research might. If you get hit, you lose your troops. You lose your troop might. But you never, ever, ever lose your research might. This is why it's called base might or static might. So that is what you're actually looking to grow with your speeds. And you are definitely going to be saving up your technolabes and not wasting them, because you're going to need a heck of a lot of them for the bigger researches. So I think that is my beginner story for today. Don't think, oh, technolabes, it's Christmas, I'm just going to zoot through a bunch of teeny tiny researchers. You're wasting your technolabes at least 7 days, and preferably more, unless you've got really, really good research gear, So you're going to look at the time that research takes. And, you're probably going to be doing the researches with technolabes that take 6 months, a year longer. If you are using technolabes for a smaller research, then definitely at least 7 days of research for a technolabe. Hope that helps you. Have fun. Grow up, get big, and kill everything.